Video games have been a staple since the 1980s, and for good reason, as they let us explore worlds, solve problems, and give us power to fight the villain. But since then, we've seen video games change over time, in terms of gameplay, graphics, and especially in its characters. Or, to be more specific, female characters, which have come a long way from being the damsel in distresses of the 1980s. One starring lady in particular is Lara Croft, protagonist of the Tomb Raider franchise. Introduced in 1996 and a controversial icon since then, people either see her in a positive or negative light. This is often due to her look, as she's usually depicted in a skin-tight tank top and shorts, and for some, let's just say an exaggerated body. But Lara has changed, and none more so than the 2013 reboot of Tomb Raider.
A famous explorer once said that the extraordinary is in what we do, not who we are. I'd finally set out to make my mark, to find adventure, but instead, adventure found me.
In this new version of the character, many people saw her as a lot more realistic. Again, in terms of design, but also in the way she reacted to the environment around her. She's now a lot more grizzled due to her experiences. At her core, Lara Croft is an adventurous and courageous woman. Despite being a controversial icon, she did pave the way for future female protagonists in gaming. Nintendo is best known for Super Mario and The Legend of Zelda, and what these two have in common is having a character with the title of being a princess. Princess Peach of the Mushroom Kingdom, and Princess Zelda of Hyrule. Let's talk about Zelda. Throughout the various titles, Zelda's looks could be slightly changed, and her role in the story could be different. Starting off as a damsel in distress in earlier titles, Zelda will later have a more active role in the story. In some games, she'll help Link using disguises or alter egos, as seen in Wind Waker and Ocarina of Time. In more recent titles, she's seen aiding Link as herself. The Princess Zelda that we see in recent titles is much different from the damsel in distress from before, as she helps Link stop threats in the Kingdom of Hyrule by using her knowledge of the world and its magic. This is especially present in 2017's Breath of the Wild, where we see Zelda as a valiant and independent princess.
I thought I made it clear that I'm not in need of an escort. It seems I'm the only one with a mind of my own. I, the person in question, am fine, regardless of the king's orders. Return to the castle.
And then there's Princess Peach from the Super Mario games, who still gets kidnapped by Bowser occasionally. Even though Peach still gets kidnapped by Bowser, this isn't seen as much of a problem since she's playable in several other titles. Not to mention she has her own game, Super Princess Peach, where the roles are reversed and she has to rescue Mario from Bowser. These changes really do change a character. Even if it's a small change for Princess Peach in comparison to Zelda, you can tell that Nintendo has acknowledged the problem of the damsel in distress role. I think we only scratched the surface of certain female characters. In order to get varying points of view, I conducted a survey on questions related to this topic to see what other people have to say. Here are 3 of the questions. What makes an empowering female character? A female character with their own storyline that can stand up for themselves. A character who doesn't need help from others to solve her own problem. Someone who is brave, assertive, strong, empathetic, and a good leader. Why do you think female characters are designed with very specific proportions? I feel like that's more to appeal to the male audience than the female audience. To appeal to the bigger part of their consumers, which are males, they like seeing more curvy female characters. I think the male characters show an unrealistic body standard as well. I mean, not every powerful guy will have amazing muscles, but I think adding unrealistic proportions can be harmful either way, but it would be way more damaging to women because they are way more sexualized. How can we get better at representing women in video games? By having more games where the woman is the main character. Body types, more female character choices, diversity in ethnicity and race, as well as sexuality and disabilities. I think the best place to start is creating more in-depth characters that just happen to be women. The good thing is, we have seen changes. More than ever before, we see more female characters with their own struggles, stories, personalities, and goals. It isn't perfect, but just seeing these changes happen is amazing. And I can't wait to see what's up next.